Y'all, I've got a story that's going to blow your mind today. It's about a guy named Joseph, and oh my goodness, his faith journey is seriously next level. Have you ever wondered what it's like to do the right thing and still end up in a mess? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive into Genesis 39. And I promise, it's going to change the way you look at faith and integrity forever. Okay, so picture this. Joseph, this young guy with big dreams, gets sold into slavery by his own brothers. I mean, can you even imagine? He ends up in Egypt, this totally foreign place, probably feeling scared and alone. But here's the thing. Y'all, God was with Joseph every step of the way. Even in this crazy situation, Joseph doesn't lose his faith. He's determined to make the best of it. And you know what? That's exactly what he does. Joseph starts working for this guy named Potiphar, who's like a big deal in Egypt. And let me tell you, Joseph doesn't just do an okay job. He absolutely crushes it. The Bible says, the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man. Seriously, everything Joseph touches turns to gold. Y'all, Joseph's story is just getting started. This guy is so good at his job, so trustworthy, that Potiphar's like, you know what? You're in charge of everything. Can you believe it? A slave becoming the manager of a whole household? That's God's favor right there, no doubt about it. Joseph goes from the bottom to the top, and it's all because he stays true to his faith and works his tail off. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Bible says Joseph was handsome and well-built. Hello? Potiphar's wife notices, and she starts getting some not-so-great ideas. She's eyeing Joseph every day, probably thinking she can have whatever she wants. But our boy Joseph, he's not about that life. He knows his integrity is worth way more than a moment of pleasure. Okay, y'all, this is where things get real. Potiphar's wife isn't just giving Joseph the eyes anymore, she's straight up trying to seduce him. And it's not just once, it's every single day. Can you imagine the pressure? Joseph's in this foreign country, he's got this position of power, and here's this woman offering him something that, in the moment, probably seemed pretty tempting. But Joseph, oh my goodness, his response is just incredible. He's like, how can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? Y'all, that's what integrity looks like. Joseph doesn't just say no because he might get caught. He says no because he knows it would be wrong in God's eyes. He values his relationship with God more than any temporary pleasure or power trip. Now, I don't know about you, but I find Joseph's strength here just mind-blowing. He's not playing around with temptation. He's not well, maybe just this once. Nope, he's drawing a clear line in the sand. And y'all, that's so important for us today. We live in a world where temptation is everywhere, and sometimes it feels like integrity is old-fashioned. But Joseph shows us that standing firm in our faith is always worth it. And let's be real, it's not easy. Joseph probably knew he was risking everything by saying no, but he trusted God more than he feared the consequences. That's the kind of faith I want, y'all. The kind that stands strong even when everything around you is saying, just give in, it'll be fine. Y'all, this is where the story takes a turn that just breaks my heart. Potiphar's wife, she's so angry that Joseph rejected her. She decides to lie. She tells everyone that Joseph tried to attack her, which is just the complete opposite of the truth. And Potiphar, he believes his wife. I mean, of course he does, right? So Joseph, this guy who's done everything right, who's been faithful to God and to his master, ends up thrown in prison. Can you imagine how Joseph must have felt? He did the right thing, he honored God, and this is what he gets? It would be so easy to just give up on faith at this point, to be like, God, I trusted you and look where it got me. But y'all, that's not what Joseph does. Even in this super unfair situation, he keeps his faith. And that's a huge lesson for us. Now, here's where it gets really good, y'all. Even though Joseph's in prison, God doesn't abandon him. The Bible says, but the Lord was with Joseph and showed him steadfast love. Isn't that amazing? Even in the darkest place, God is right there with Joseph. And not only that, but God starts blessing Joseph right there in prison. He gives Joseph favor with the prison warden. And soon Joseph's in charge of all the other prisoners. Y'all, Joseph's story is so much more than just a Bible tale. It's a blueprint for how we can live with integrity and faith today. We might not be dealing with Potiphar's wife, but we all face temptations and unfair situations. Joseph teaches us that doing the right thing isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. And even when it seems like everything's going wrong, God is still working things out for our good. So here's my challenge to you, y'all. Take some time this week to read Genesis 39 for yourself. Think about the temptations and challenges in your own life. How can you stand firm like Joseph did? Remember, God is with you, just like he was with Joseph. Even in the toughest times, he's working things out. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this message spoke to you, please like, comment, and share. Let's spread the word about living with unshakable faith.